group 6, there will be 5 members in our groups, and we're going to be presenting about hot air balloons. So on to the first part, which is design and sketch. So we're designing hot air balloons. We need to choose the designs for the envelopes. So we're going for the classical teardrop shapes, and we know that this is where the hot air are going to be collected. So we need to be able to rip and heat resistance at the same times. Therefore, on the outside part of the envelopes, they're going to be known as a cores. So these cores are going to help together by heavy-duty load tapes, stitchings, and webbings. The reason we use these three methods to hold the cores is because we can minimize the strength and maximize the support. In economical terms, it's going to last long and have a longer lifespan to be used. Next, on the top of the envelopes, they're going to be a part known as the crown rings. So this crown ring, near the crown rings, we're going to they're a part known as the deflation ports. These circular deflation ports are held together by a flexible hook and loop closure, which then are connected to the pilots. So when the pilot wanted to land, the pilot need to pull the hooks and thus releasing all the hot air inside the envelopes onto the outer environments. And then as for safety measure, there will be materials put inside the envelopes, also known as telltales. So telltales is white in color, and when it reaches a certain high temperature, it will turn black, thus giving a sign to the pilot to repair the envelope. Also, telltales is what we call as temperature indicator. So if you look at the bottom part of the envelope, they're going to be known as the Nomex panels, also known as skirts. The purpose of this skirt is to channel hot air or heat into the envelopes. At the same time, it provides protections for the burn systems from winds on windy days. Next, the basket. The basket is girded with wickers or rattans. Then, the top of the basket, there are going to be aluminum frameworks. The purpose of these aluminum frameworks is to provide supports and stability for the baskets. It will help the burn systems and at the same time prevents the basket from tip over upon landings. The basket is divided into 5 compartments. The middle compartment is where the pilots and fuel tank is placed, and the other 4 compartments is where the passenger is going to stand during flights. At the bottoms of the basket, there will be shock absorbers to absorb the shock during landings. At the right side, there will be a hole to pull anchor and release anchor. Then we're going on to the burner systems. The burner systems is quite simple. It is controlled by the valve. The purpose of the valve is to control the rate of flow of fuel from the tanks, and then the burner head is going to supply the vapor of propanes. We're going to use propanes, and then the lighter burner will light up the vapors and producing fire. And then the port bumpers with holes. The reason they have holes is to provide an oxygen to have a proper combustion. And the extended coil and the machine jet rings is the purpose of these parts is to propagate the heat into the envelopes. Of course, the propane gas will be accessible or channeled into the burner systems using a flexible hose. So that's all for my parts. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Umie Umyrah binti Zaharudin with metric number 207342. Today I will present my part, which the materials and the details for the material chosen. The material is divided by 3 parts, which is the envelope, the burner, and the basket, or it's called gondola. For the envelope, we use Nomex and nylon. Nomex for the near to the mouth, and the nylon for the rest of the envelope. For the burner part, we use stainless steel for the upper part and the inconel for the bottom part. The basket is made from rattan with aluminium. Aluminium is for the frame, and aluminium steel that attach the basket with the burner. Detail of material chosen for the basket. The basket must have lightweight and flexible. The basket also must be able to support the burner system, capable to protect the passenger, and the wire that attach the basket to the burner frame must made from the strong alloy. Plus, the basket must have hole beside the basket to pull the anchor during takeoff and release during landing. Usually, the pattern for the basket is rectangular shape. Next, the envelope. The envelope must allow air to escape at control rate, which can control the ascent and descent of the hot air balloon. For the fabric that near to the mouth, or it's called skirt, it must endure from high temperature because it's close to the burner. For the gore and panel or skirt section, it must stitch in specific pattern and shape, and it also must is made from weather resistant material since it's hot air inside and colder air outside the envelope. The skirts also must be helpful for shielding the flame from the wind. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Fikri. I will present about specialty design by using material chosen. The first part of the envelope design is nomad. One of the properties nomad is fireproof, so it can avoid the damage. Then it also can withstand temperature up to 700 Fahrenheit without any damage. Next is a nylon. The fabric of nylon is very tough. It can avoid the damage because nylon can withstand the heat and tension. Okay, next slide. The basket material we use are batten basket. It's a very lightweight. The strong and resilient batten that woven around the aluminium frame can provide very excellent shock absorber during the landings. Next, the aluminium frame. It is low in density. The last one is aluminium steel wires. It is very high strength at the center strength and gives additional strength to support weight. Okay, next slide. For upper part first, we use stainless steel. It's corrosion and heat resistant. It can save the cost of the maintenance and having a low life expectancy. And the last one for lower part, corner. It's also corrosion resistant and high temperature strengths developed by solid solution strengthening and precipitation hardening.
Assalamualaikum and good evening everyone. My name is Ahmad Amirun Akif bin Ahmad Jasrul and my matrix number is 207449 and I will be presenting about who get the benefits. So there will be 3 targets that will get the benefits. So the targets are country, industry of aircraft in Malaysia and community. So let's look to the community. A creative look such as ketupat design hot air balloons which can be held during the month's events. Thus, more people will attract to ride it and have better experience of riding it at once. As people love creativity, this will be a great factor to attract them to attend the fiesta and ride it. Next, we will look at the industry of aircraft in Malaysia. The industry of aircraft in Malaysia will be well developed as there will be much more demand in the market to build high quality and creative look of hot air balloons. Therefore, they will help to bring our aircraft industry into the next level and promote it to other developed countries like United States of America, Japan, and Germany. Lastly, we get into our last target, which is country. More foreigners might come to visit our country when our country get placed in one of the best hot air balloons around the world with eye-catching views. This will lead to our economy to rise up and the government will have a new source of profit to gain. Our government will also get the benefit from it and maybe can open another beautiful and strategic attraction place of hot air balloons. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, hi, my name is Mohammad Iqbal. My metric number is 202470. So today I'm going to talk about the environmental impact from our material selection from our project. Right. So first and foremost, I'm going to talk about the envelope, because the envelope, the material that we chose was nylon, and also at the same time, we use Nomex also. I just want to talk about a little bit about them. So Nomex, it will probably take a long time to degrade, and it may be able to recycle, but it's not 100% guaranteed. And also for nylon, the downside is it's not biodegradable, and it will persist in the environment indefinitely. And to the next part is the burner. It's pretty obvious we're going to use stainless steel for this, because the largest environmental impacts include dust emissions into the air, water discharge from production, use of direct and indirect energy, and another thing is that waste, the waste created in the production process, and also we use Inconel, and it is an important recyclable material for many high-end recycling companies. So basically, a lot of companies are using this material, and that's why with the upsides of this material, we chose this exact material for this project. And the last but not least is the basket. And also, we have seen many companies use this, and that's why we chose it, because of the lot of upsides of using it, which is the rattan, and the usage leads to forest degradation. That's one of the problem, and it affects overall forest ecosystem. The use of toxic chemicals and petrol in the processing of rattan does not affect only soil, air, water resources, but also people's health in general. But it is biodegradable. That's why we chose it. And the next part is the aluminum. It is actually it leads to increase in AI concentration in soil solutions and fresh waters. So the large parts, both aquatic and terrestrial ecosystem, are actually affected. So there are the pretty obvious downsides. But other than that, this is why we chose what we chose, and these are the environmental impacts. Not all are good impacts. There are also negative sides of it, but we got to keep it balanced so that we get the best out of both worlds. Thank you.